Thank you for tuning in to the Nurturing Conversations podcast, where today we're going to talk about scarcity mindset. I want to say thank you to all of the YouTube channel members. I want to say thank you to Journey with Kiki, Kimberly Davis, Happy 1178, Lovely Samira. I hope that you are enjoying your channel member benefits. Those of you who are watching on Twitch, I want to say thank you to all of the people who are following and subscribed. I truly hope that you are enjoying your time here on the channel. Up next is a disclaimer, and I'll be back to talk more about the scarcity mindset.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, I'm here to give you the disclaimers for this here live. Listen, I do not tolerate disrespect. That's in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's towards me, towards anyone that appears on the screen, towards anyone that appears in the chat. If you have not decided to be a better person, most people will tell you to leave, but I'm going to tell you to stick around because maybe something that is said today will encourage you to do so. Now, I am not a mental health professional. I am just one woman willing to share my personal experiences to let you know two things. One, you are not alone, regardless of how much you feel like you are alone, how many times you have felt that, you are not alone. And number two, you can overcome anything that life throws at you. There will be curse words, there will possibly be tears, but knowing me, it probably will be. And my opinions are my opinions. Your opinions are your opinions. We are here to have a nurturing conversations in regards to our opinions so that we will have a better understanding of each other. That's all I got for right now. I hope that you enjoy this nurturing conversation. Let's get to it. Wait. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. That helps me say suggested on YouTube. Make sure that you type in the chat. Also leave a comment and share it with your friends. That's all I got. Let's get into this conversation. I love you. Peace.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, today's topic is scarcity mindset. We're going to talk about the scarcity mindset. What is the scarcity mindset? It's the belief that resources, opportunities, and success is limited. If you're new here, many of these conversations come from things I experience. And I figure if I experience them, maybe someone else has experienced them. You ever experience something and you was like, I wonder if somebody else has been through this? Or we kind of already know like other people have experienced similar things. I'm the type of person where if I overcome something or when I overcome something, I like to share the journey. I like to share the path that I took to ensure that the people that's traveling on that journey after me, it'll be the road to be a lot less complicated or a lot less bumpy. I was trying to use analogies for roads. Um, so when I started to think about what am I going to talk about today, and I started to think about scarcity mindset, the lack, the focus on what we don't have rather than being grateful or showing gratitude for the things that we do have. Um, these past couple of weeks, well, it's June, right? We're in the 6th month of 2023. That means that we are like halfway to the end of the year. And so I began to think about my hopes and my goals and dreams that I set in like 2022. And then, life threw a curveball and I wasn't able to accomplish those goals. And so then I was like, let me just sit down. I'm in the 6th month of the year. Let me sit down and write out my goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And at the same time, I wanted to um, list the things that I was grateful for, right? You sit down and you start listing things that you want to do, and it's like, I want to write a book, but I don't have the finances, or I don't have this. And I found myself saying a lot of I don't have or I can't. And I was like, whoa, 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 pause, press pause. Because that's not how I speak. Like, that's not me, but where did it come from? And I had spent this week a little a little saddened. I was saddened because I my tire had blew out the other day. Like when you don't have most people when they don't have money, they be like, "Oh, I'm broke." I didn't say I was broke. I don't say I'm broke because I always have at least some change or a couple of dollars in my pocket. And so my tire blew out, and I was so sad. I was so sad. I was so sad because I was like, oh, if I had the money, I could just get four new tires and I won't have to worry about that. I don't know why I thought if I got four new tires, like the tire wouldn't blow out anyways. Like new tires prevent tires from being blown out. I don't know. Just what I was thinking because I was really sad. And I was like, oh, I can get a jack where if my tire blow out again, then I could. I just went down the rabbit hole of what I could have did, what I should have did, how I should have did it. And then I said to myself, um, I'm just grateful that the tire that I didn't lose control when the tire blew out. I am grateful that I am still here to tell you guys that my tire blew out on my truck. I began to express gratitude for the things that I have, and I was just like, in that moment of sadness, I forgot everything that I was happy for. I forgot everything. I even forgot what I was going to do because I have become so overwhelmed with sadness. I wasn't angry. I was just really sad. Like, man. And I was sad because I'm like, I have these ideas or I have these goals and I'm not applying myself. I'm not applying myself. I'm not where I want to be in life because I'm not fully applying myself. I know what I need to do. I know how I need to do it. I know um, what I need to do. And so after the tire blowout, I just slept for a while. And then I sat down and I cried. And you're probably like, why were you crying? I was crying because I was really, really sad. Really sad. I was sad at the fact that I knew that I deserved better and I could do better, but I wasn't doing better. And that made me sad. And so I began to talk to myself and I said, what do I need to do to get better? What do I need to do? Why am I not able to do better? Why am I not doing better? And while I'm saying that, the words, I am afraid came up. And I was like, but what am I afraid? I'm not afraid of nothing. What am I afraid of? And then I began to think about the things that I am afraid of. I was afraid to apply myself because it seemed like everything that I have worked so hard for in the last 5 years, it like fell apart or it doesn't exist anymore. And so I was afraid that if I worked hard, that I would fail or it would fall apart. And then I would be sad again. And it's just crazy how when you don't have something, you like dwell on not having it. Instead of being grateful for the things that you do have, I was dwelling on the fact that I could possibly lose it. I didn't even do it yet. I know that I can. I want to. I have it on my whiteboard. I have it on my list of things to do. This is how um someone asked me, "What do you need to do in order to make $1 million this year?" And so I sat and pondered on that. And I wasn't like, oh, I don't have this. I don't know how to do this because we live in a digital age. You can literally do anything right now from the comfort of your own home. If you have a phone, a tablet, you can literally do anything that you want to do. And so I'm sitting here and I'm just like, what am I gonna do? How do I gonna do it? I want to make $1 million, but how do I get there? What I need to do? And so I'm sitting down and I'm evaluating all of the services that I offer. I'm evaluating what I really want to do in my life. I don't want to waste any more time pushing people to be better, um, dragging people. And I'm not saying that like I'm literally dragging people. Like you want to see people do better, so you give them everything you got. You give them all your time and energy. And I'm just like, I'm going to reclaim my time and my energy, and I'm going to focus that on myself. So in the midst of me crying, and I'm like, I'm afraid, and I was like, what am I afraid of? I acknowledged the fear. I acknowledged the fear, and I cried a little harder. And as I'm crying, I'm just like, have the tendency of stopping myself from being great. Um, Not on purpose. Not on purpose. I don't think anyone purposely say, okay, I'm not gonna be great today. I think sometimes we are just so used to not having, or we're so used to not being asked to do more, that we just become complacent in where we are, and we just lack things. And so I'm sitting, I'm going over my life. I'm like, okay, I knew 3 years ago that I didn't want to still say I couldn't be great because of my childhood. I couldn't be great because of this happened to me. Like I purposely went on a journey of feeling self discovery to ensure that I rid myself of all of the things that could stop me. And so I'm learning forgiveness, not just for other people, but forgiving myself. I learned that um, focusing on the things that I don't have was really causing me to have like really, it puts me in a really negative space. If you ever complained, if you've ever complained about something and you constantly complain about it, you ever notice how not nan time, not nan time. You ever notice how the more you complain, the bigger the situation seems to get? It could be something so small, but the more you talk about it, the more you complain about it, the more you highlight it, it becomes so big, right? So I got to a place where once I addressed something one time, I didn't go back to it. I allowed myself to feel the emotions in there. I allowed myself to express everything that had to go with that, and then I figure out a solution. I realized, like, when you like, oh man, I want to start a business. But if you're sitting there and you're like, well, I don't have the money, I don't have the education, I don't have this, I don't want to have, it looks so huge, like you are unable to obtain that very thing. But if you start focusing on, I want, so I'll say it like this: I want to write a book. Um, I was when you say you want to write a book, it's like, what kind of book I'm gonna write? I know I'm not gonna write a novel because me and novels have this like love hate relationship. Um, I have this love hate relationship with novels. So I was like, you know what? I want to do like a handbook or like a tutorial for music artists, right? And so I'm sitting down. I wrote down Music Business 101. That's like a title, right? And so then I just started thinking about all the ways or all the things I as a music artist wish someone would have said to me, or pointed out to me, or talked about, right? So I just started writing it all down. And like in the back of your head, when you're like doing great things and you are like happy and things are going great, there's always this little thing in the back of your mind. It's like, this is too good to be true. How am I really like writing all of this down? Like, this isn't going to go anywhere but just on this piece of paper, right? So I'm writing, and then as I'm writing, I'm getting chapters. I'm getting the things that go in the chapter. I'm getting ideas for like worksheets. I'm getting all these different things, right? And I'm sitting here looking like, I've been saying I wanted to write a book for forever. But I would be like, well, I don't know how to write a book. Or I don't even know where to get a book published at, or all of these different things, right? And so then once I just sat down and outlined the book, and then it was like, okay, I have the outline for the book. I have the things that I want to go in the book. Now I got to get a cover. I got to get all of these things. I'm telling you, your mind will like make it, it'll blow it way bigger than it is. And so now I'm sitting here like, okay, I got a book. I got the outline. I got the things I'm going to put in there. I need graphics. I need all these different things. And my mind is like, that's going to cost a lot of money to do that, right? And then I thought to myself, like, I'm pretty good with graphics. I'm pretty good. And so then I started to tap into the creative side of me that I felt like I had put up on the shelf and didn't use it for so long. And like I created a cover, I created all these different things, and I was like, "Oh my god." When I was sitting over here like, "Yeah, I'm gonna write a book, but I don't know," and like questioning myself, I was stuck. I put the book up on the shelf and I just started doing other things. And the book sat up there and got dusty. But when I shifted my focus to understanding the skills, giftings, and talents that I had on the inside of me, understanding that all I need is space and opportunity, right? Everything seemed to fall into place. The moment I stopped looking at the things I didn't have, the lack, and start focusing on and being grateful for the things that I had, I'm telling you guys, like everything just seemed to fall into place. I realized like previously before I started my journey of healing and self discovery, I would get to like fixated on when I experienced disappointment. Like you ever had somebody tell you they was going to do something for you and then they didn't do it and then there was no explanation as to why. I don't know if that's you, but for me, I be wanting people to explain to me how you say you was going to do something, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Um, it didn't happen. You didn't communicate to me why it didn't happen. So now I'm sitting over here going in my mind thinking about what could have happened. I'm telling you, your mind creates all these different scenarios. And so now I'm over here like, oh, they mad at me or I must have said something, or I must have did something. Now they don't want to talk to me anymore. And it could be the total opposite. Maybe the person just overslept. Maybe they were tired. Maybe they just forgot. Because that happens sometimes. You ever like say you're gonna do something for somebody and then your day gets so busy and then it just be like, oh man, I forgot. When it happens for me, I make sure that I call the people and I say, hey, um, I ran out of time, or I tell them, the truth. I don't lie. That's another thing that people do. I don't lie. I tell them the truth. Like, this is what happened. Please forgive me. Can I make it up? Can we do another thing? And I sitting down just thinking like, man, I spent so much of my life, so much of my time focused on the people that weren't supporting me, the things that I wasn't able to do. And for me, coming into the understanding that that's a mindset. Like I work with music artists, so I hear them all the time. Uh, I hear them all the time say, "Hey, um, no one supports me. My friends don't repost. My family members, nobody's really trying to support me." And I'm just like, but what about the 5 people over here who come to your concert? Or what about the 25 people that downloaded your song? Or what about the 15 people that reshare it every time you post something? And I'm like, we're forgetting those people because we're looking at the people. Everybody wants their family to support them. We all do. We all feel like you are the first line of support. Like you're going to be there, right? When in reality, if we believe in ourselves, we are able to obtain, conquer, present, overcome. We are able to do whatever it is that we put our mind to, right? Sometimes we are not able to accomplish those things because we are not comfortable with ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves. Sometimes we give that the opportunity for validation to other people. I I post up this song. If 15 people don't like it, then that means that the song isn't good. If I post up this picture and I'm regular, I see this too a lot on social media where people be like, if I post up some toxic stuff, everyone will like it. They'll share to do all that. But I say I started a new business or I'm getting a degree or something like that and nobody really likes it. And so then people be feeling some kind of way and they're like, oh man, people don't even like my, and I just be looking like, I don't. If I post something today, I'm not really posting it. Yes, I'm posting it on social media so people can look at it, but I'm not like, oh, let me see how many people gonna like it. For me, in the coming, actually starting tomorrow morning, I'm going to return back to uploading regularly photos and videos and things like that. Um, mm-hmm. um, Sorry, that's my mom. I was trying to see. She asked if I had a charger. She has a different type of phone. Oh, she probably could have used this one. Nope, that's not it. Sorry. Um, I forgot where I was. I forgot where I was. Scarcity mindset. That's what I'm talking about. When you start focusing on the lack, the things that you don't have, they become magnified. I totally forgot where I was at. Totally threw me off. But we're still talking about the scarcity mindset, and how it causes life to, uh, that was once vibrant, once joyful, it becomes dark. And I don't have another word right there, but it becomes dark because you're focusing on. I don't want to say it's negativity, but you start to focus on negative things, right? You start to look at people different. You start to question people motives. You start to wonder. Um, I'm sorry, guys. Hello, Waylon. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for even commenting. You know, when it comes to families, right? Many people, there's families, and I'm not going to say all families are not like supportive, but I will say that some families are just like, we want to see if you can make it on your own. Like we want to, like, we supported you this long. Let's let you stand on your own 2 feet. We'll be here to catch you in the event that you fall. We'll be here, but we want you to stand up on your own 2 feet. I was thinking, right, when I was younger, um, when we're younger, our parents tell us, like, or some of our parents, our grandparents, or our guardians, show us how to, like. Well, I was shown. Let me speak from my experience. I was shown how to, brush my teeth, put my clothes on, clean up, sort clothes. Right. I was taught that as a young person growing up, and then when I got older, I started to look at, you hang around different people, you understand like their upbringings and the things that they experience in life. And I'm just looking like I was kind of privileged. Like I wasn't privileged where I had like riches or anything like that, but I was privileged because I had people to actually show me how to do those things. Like I know how to sort clothes. Like I have friends. I have friends who just throw all their clothes in the laundry in a washing machine, and then the colors be mixing or whatever. And I know you're probably like, that is so simple, like, but that's the reality. Like some people don't have people to teach them, people to instruct them on how or what's right or what's wrong. So they feel like they lack love, they lack appreciation, they lack guidance. As I began to even think about like me growing up, like I spent so much time um, focused on why am I always sick, or why do I have to keep going to the hospital? Like why can't I just be normal? And when I say normal, I mean like not sickly, right? And then as I got older and I began to like understand, even with like, even as far as with like I'm lactose intolerant, right? When I was younger, I was still eating ice cream, still drinking milk. I was still dairy. I was still doing all of that. It was like I already know what's gonna happen when I do it. And then now that I'm older, it's like, oh no, I know what's going to happen, so I'm gonna stay away from it, right? I guess it's like when you get older, with age comes wisdom. So I'm like, okay, no, I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm not gonna eat it because I know how it affects me, and I don't want it to affect me in that way. I knew like when I would think about when people would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this for you, and then they don't. It's that it's that letdown. It's that like that disappointment where it's like I'm not gonna be disappointed. You know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna give people that, give people that space to disappoint me, because disappointment hurts. Whether we want to admit it, disappointment hurts. And so I was like, I'm going to do everything on my own so I don't have to worry about nobody disappointing me. And I started to do everything on my own. I don't have to depend on you because I'm going to do it. I'm not going to have to worry about you telling me I can't have or I can't do or I can't go, because I'm going to make sure I have everything that I need to do it. And then I started on a journey of healing and self discovery, and I figured out where it came from. And I'm saying disappointment because that's where I felt, or that's where, not I felt, that's where I know it came from. It came from me being disappointed so much. And I was just like, forget it. I'm going to just do it myself. You ever like send somebody to the grocery store and you be like, here's the list, follow the list of the things that I need to get, and then they go to the grocery store and come back with whatever you want, and you're like, I knew I should have went to the grocery store from the get-go. It's that disappointment. It's disappointment that hits you right here. I when I think about I used to always I had when I was younger, I used to be like, man, I wish I lived in a two-parent household. Cause I would watch movies and it looked so fun. Like you could go with your dad, and then you had the guys, the fathers, like putting the kids on the neck, and they were running, and it just looked so happy. They had a little dog, and they had the cars and the house and the white picket fence. They looked so happy, and I was just like, oh, my life would be so happy. Like you ever look at somebody's life and like, oh, they look so happy. I wish my life could be like that. And then you like when I realized that my life was actually amazing. Like I remember like people would come to our house and I would look at my mom like, where do you like maybe we had a money tree in our house. I don't know. But I would look at my mom, it's like, how are you able to do this for so many different people at a so many different times? And I just I wanted to talk about this because when I was younger, I never felt like I didn't have anything. It wasn't until I got like, I want to say I moved out of my mom's house. If you are younger, right? If your environment is conducive to your life, like if your parents are just asking you to pay a little rent, pay a little rent. Pay a little rent. I'm gonna talk to you for a minute. I'm gonna talk to you for a minute because as an adult, um, bills, I don't own my home. I never had the idea, like I never had the want to own a home, because this is, let me tell y'all where I was. I was like, I'm gonna be traveling the world and I don't want to buy a house because it's just me. When I was younger, I was like, it's just gonna be me. I'm just gonna have a loft downtown, and I got the exposed brick, and I just detailed all of that. And I was like, I'm never gonna buy a house because I'm gonna be traveling all the time. I'll have this right here, and then but as you get older and you start to realize, like when I was younger, it's like, I don't never remember saying I can't wait till I get out of my mother's house. But when I got out of my mother's house, reality hit me pretty hard. You got to pay rent, and especially now, if you're at home and they're just asking, they're not asking for no like 800 or 900, 995 or $1,200 for rent. They're not asking that. I'm pretty sure they're asking like 3 or 4. Trust me, that 3 or 4 is way more important than the 995 or the $1,200 for a space that's not as big as the facilities you're living in right now. Um, you have rent, you have lights, you have food. Food. When we were growing, I grew up in church. When we were growing up in church, they were like, "Oh, you guys need to fast." Now, when you're young and they're telling you gotta abstain from food, it's like, wait, I can't eat from this time to this time. You like rebel. You rebel against everything, right? But then when you become an adult and you understand what fasting actually does, or how fasting actually helps you, then you're like, oh my God. I've fasted so much in my life, a lot of times not on purpose, but a lot of times it actually helps. Where we look at things like when we don't have, like, I was telling somebody, like, I haven't drunk a soda in 1 month, 2 weeks. I ain't gonna tell y'all the rest, the minutes or whatever, but I've actually been keeping the track of this because for the last year of my life, I've been drinking the most sodas I ever drunk in my life, and it was Sprites. I don't know what it is about Sprite, but I felt like I needed a Sprite every day for the last year of my life. So it's been a full month, and I'm saying a full month because I went without drinking the Sprite, but it's been a full month consistently in 2 weeks that I haven't drunk a soda, and I'm not gonna act like I don't miss it, but I can tell the difference with having a soda and not having a soda. And sometimes, your mind be like, you don't have to drink a soda. You could drink one of these sparkling beverages. And it's actually just a soda. It just say sparkling beverages. And so in my mind, like my mind is like, no, we just need one. If you get one, one's not gonna hurt. I'm going with this thing in my mind and I'm like, no, I am okay. I don't need to have a soda. I don't have acid reflux. I don't have I don't have the things that I would have. And I'm actually saving a lot of money because Sprites are like $2 for a 20 ounce. And I'm actually saving a lot of money. But I don't know why. I just thought about that because I really want a Sprite. But even that takes discipline. It takes discipline, and that on this journey of healing and self discovery and understanding what scarcity mindset means. um, I realized that I spent so much time focused on the negative. Like people would ask me about my childhood, and all I could remember from my childhood was the negative things. Like I remember the one time I got a whooping, and you're probably looking like, once? You only got one whoop? Yeah, one time. I can remember the one time I got a whooping in my entire 42 years of living. And I can remember when I fell. I can remember when I split my head open. I remember when I fell off my bike. I remember like every bad thing that ever happened to me. And then when I started to go into therapy and I started to um, just forgive myself, rid myself, let go of the anger, the bitterness, let go of all of that stuff, I started to remember. I started to remember spending time with my grandmother, making cakes and cookies and pies and cooking whole meals. And I remembered that, and I don't know if y'all saw how my face lit up. It's so amazing when you're able to remember things. It wasn't like I didn't have those memories then. It's just like my brain was automatically focused on the negative. It only highlighted the things, it only highlighted the lack. When I ended the relationship I was just in, I was so heartbroken. I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm never gonna date again. You ever have a relationship that ended and you was like, I'm never dating again, I'm never gonna be in love again, I'm never, 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 never. This go around in my life, it wasn't that. It was just like, I just wanna know what makes me so engulfed in someone else that I forget myself. I just want to know what makes me forget everything that I ever wanted to do. What makes me do that? And in me understanding that I don't like when someone tells me that they're going to do something and they don't do it and they don't communicate. Oh, I don't like when they do that. They say like the things that you don't like in other people is the things that you need to work on or heal. You need to uproot. So I began to pay attention to those things. And so I didn't like when people do that. And so then I started to look at my life and was like, do I be telling people I'm going to do stuff and they don't do it? And then I started thinking with my niece and nephews, like, yeah, I'm going to take you to the park. And then I don't take them and they have this look on their face. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to not tell them that I'm going to take them to the park. And then I'm going to apologize for not taking them to the park because that we may look, if you have kids, you may look at your kids and be like, oh, they kids. They ain't even really thinking about it. They really are. They're going to remember that. You ever told them you were going to take them to the park? My niece, Bobo is 2 and my nephew is 5, right? Every time I would pick them up from daycare, they say, "Titi, we want to go to the slide." And they remembered the day before I said I was going to take them to the slide. They don't care if it's raining outside, it could be pouring down. They want to go to the slide. That's all they know. I said I was, you said you were going to take us to a slide. I said, "Oh, I am going to take you to the slide, but it's raining." They don't care. They want you to take them to the slide. I took them kids to the slide, let them swing, let them run around and just be little kids and watch them on the monkey bars. And I remember like what my life used to be like at that age, like just free, no worries. And I'm not saying that kids don't have worries because they do, but just free. Just free. They not worried about what they gonna eat. They not worried about what they gonna wear. If they gonna get a hug. They not worried about who like them. They not worried about nothing. They just running through the park. And it dawned on me, how do we get older and we start worrying about everything? We worried about if our coffee is gonna be hot. We worry about if we gonna get coffee today. We worried about if they gonna like our outfit. We're worried about if they gonna like our status, if they gonna like the picture. Like we become so filled with worry. And then I was like, I don't want to do that. I started like staying away from social media for a lot because if you are on social media, you understand like it is a really amazing thing, but at the same time, it could be so depressing. So depressing. From people in relationships and they like putting all their relationship troubles all over social media, or people fighting subliminally across social media is such a really crazy pace. And then like there's this thing called the algorithm. So then if you watch one video, like say you watch a video of like a police officer doing something, and then they just start suggesting that to you. That's not what I want to see. So I see those kind of things, and then I'm happy here lately. That was previous before now, but now it's like people graduating, people starting businesses. I'm super excited about this new trucking thing. Um, where they like my timeline is filled with people starting a business, people writing books, starting podcasts, all of these different things. So I'm super excited because every time I go on any one of my social media now, somebody's like, "Hey, I started this new course," or "I'm doing this," and it's like, okay, this is dope. Because before I'm not going, I was scrolling and it's like, oh, this person is fighting this person, they baby daddy, they baby mama, and I was just like, I don't have any kids, so I don't need to watch that kind of content. You ever like have friends and they call you and like, girl, let me tell you, I used to be the queen of foolishness. Queen. I ain't saying that I retired or nothing, but I'm saying I don't entertain that anymore. When you realize like you ever like say you want to lose weight. It's about to be the summertime and people want to lose weight, right? And sometimes the first thing people do is I gotta count calories. I'm gonna do they figure out a diet or something that they gonna do, right? So people been seeing me lately and they're like, "You losing weight, what are you doing?" And I say walking and staying away from stressful situations. And it's like, what that mean? What you mean? I be at home working on my businesses, listening to meditative music, meditating. I just be out the way. And when you stay away from things like that, that's less stress, that's less anger, that's less tension, that's less bitterness, that's less of everything that you have on you. I realize you ever be sad and it's like, let me go to this refrigerator and get some ice cream or some cookies. Like you probably don't actually think that, but you just go in your kitchen and like you're either eating or you're like, hey, you're overindulging in things. That's how some people cope. Me, I used to shop. That was my thing. Shopping was my thing. And then I think about it, um, I think about how I am now, and it's like if I feel like when my tire blew off, right? I cried and I was just like, man, I really have to. You like know when you have to do something and you be procrastinating and doing it. And then I cried. It was like, I have to sit down. So after I get off of this podcast, I'm going to sit down and literally write out the things that I need to do this week, next week, for the rest of this year, to obtain the finances that I want. I only lack right now because I am not applying myself. I have all the tools, the resources, everything. I am only in lack right now. And I'm not saying that you are only in lack right now because you're not applying yourself, but if you're listening to me and your brain is telling you, you know she talking to you, right? I'm talking to you. We focus so much on the things we don't have. I be telling people around me like, you should start a business. Girl, I ain't got no money to be starting no business. Do you know how many people just woke up and was like, I'm going to teach a course on how to apply mink eyelashes. And so they set their camera up and start applying mink eyelashes. And some people even just uploaded it on YouTube, and a lot of people watched them. It was like, okay, cool. I was telling somebody, right? I'm about to start doing mechanic stuff. Like I ain't go to school for mechanic, automotive, or whatever it is, but I want to be able to show people how to. Oh, hold on once. Hold on once. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm super happy I put that in there. I'm super happy I put that in there. I'm sorry that was someone calling to make sure that my mom was great. Anywho, um, I I gotta start remember what I was talking. Uh, people wanna. I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, it's people starting a business, right? Hmm. Hi, Fancy. Um, people starting a business. I try to tell my friends like, you could start a business right now. You want to write a book? It's so. I feel like, um, while the pandemic, we lost a lot of people. It changed the way we live presently. It definitely brought with it a lot of opportunity. And I say opportunity to like start businesses, to like reach people in other countries, reach people around the world, um, swiftly with phones or tablets or anything like that. Um, I wanted to take out the excuses. Take it out of the excuses. For me, taking out of the excuses is shifting my thinking. If I'm always talking about, oh, well, they never give me an opportunity, I don't have the opportunity to do this. So I am currently, I promised myself in 2023 that I would do everything that I ever wanted to do in life, but I allow fear to stop me. So for the last 6 months, because it's the 6th month of the year, I have been literally doing everything I've ever wanted to do. Right now, I am in the middle of hosting the second concert of my concert series. Um, the more that I plan out, the more that I meet with other individuals, I feel like the next thing I need to do is get a venue. So I know that it's going to require a lot of money. And so what I'm doing is I'm reaching out to people who have who are like minded and do want to see um, performances. They want to have concerts. They're in the same space that I am, right? Maybe we can co-op a building. So I'm thinking like I don't have to pay for it. Like I have to get all the money and then I'll pay for it. No, like if we co-op, we can all put money in together and this would be a building for us. So for me, it took me shifting my brain. Like I don't have $100,000 to get a building, and it was like, no, if I find someone else who's aligned, whose mission and values are aligned with mine, we can come in together and have a beautiful space for us all to utilize. And then that's why when I started to think about today's topic, I was like, it's about shifting your mindset. Shifting, if you always thought about not being, you're not pretty enough, or you don't have enough money, or you don't shift your mindset. You are the finest thing that God, Buddha, Allah, whatever deity you serve, you are the finest thing that they created on this earth. Now I know people are going to be like, "That's cocky, that's arrogant," but the reality of it is a lot of people do not look at themselves as being beautiful. A lot of people do not see themselves as being smart, intelligent, valued, appreciated. A lot of people don't see that for themselves. And that's for me where the scarcity mindset comes in. If you don't feel like you are enough, you walk into situations that you know that you are able to accomplish. You know that you are able to succeed at these different things, but you walk in feeling down. You walk in feeling like, I don't know if this is the right thing for me to do. Me, I'm walking, I promise myself, once I made it to 2023, I'm walking in every room like I deserve. I'm meant to be here. Ever since January, I've been doing that. I had to make a lot of tough decisions. When you like want to be in a room, you ever wanted to be in a room? It's like, yeah, I need to get in the room, get in the room. And then you get in the room and you realize that's not where you really want to be. You in a room and you looking around and it's like, oh, you are such a mean person. Or you are, like you're not even just talking about people's character. Well, I am talking about people's character where you feel like, oh, that'd be a great room. And you get there and you're like, no, this is not the room for me. I've been able to go out the door, close the door behind me and say, thank you guys for, as I'm leaving out, thank you guys for inviting me, but this isn't the room for me. And I knew one day I would be in that spot where I would be able to speak, be able to verbally say thank you, but no thank you. Before I was just like, yeah, I do it because I'm looking. I want to succeed. I want to be great. That's I want to be great. I don't want to have to. I don't have to have Grammys. I don't have anything like that. If there is people out here that can say I helped them, I showed them this and it helped them be better, that to me is being great. That to me is being successful. Sharing the knowledge that I have with other people and they're able to continue on, to grow, to expand. Like that for me is being great. And so I said to myself, I'm sitting around here holding it within all this knowledge that I have, wanting to do better, wanting to share, wanting to help people. And what am I doing? Sitting around feeling sorry for myself. I'm feeling sorry. No, it's not. I didn't survive a global pandemic to sit around and feel sorry for myself. So what am I doing in 2023? Everything I ever wanted to do. I want to take this moment to encourage you. I'm about to wrap up, but I want to take this moment to encourage you is to change the way you think. I know you're looking at the pandemic like, man, that stopped me from doing a lot of things that I really want to do. Shift your focus to say, the pandemic allowed me a lot more time to spend with my family. If you were a parent that was always working and you didn't have time for your kids, that allowed you a lot more time to spend with your family, to get to know your kids, get to know your significant other. It allowed me a lot of space and opportunity to figure out what it is that I want to do with my life. Um, just change the way you look at it. I got 5 things and then I'm gonna wrap it up. 5 things that can help you shift your mind from scarcity to abundance. 5 things, just 5. And number 1 is focus on what you have. Maybe you don't have a gang of people, or I shouldn't say gang. Maybe you don't have a team of people behind you, supporting you, believing in you, buying your merchandise. Maybe you only have 5 people. Those 5 people, they say, all you need is 10 solid people. You got five. Focus on that five, and those five will tell other five people, or then those five people, and before you know it, now you got 100 people supporting you. Focus on the things that you have. If you got skills right now and you want to write a book about the skills that you have. I be saying this a lot, right? People used to parents. A lot of parents be like, "Well, parenting didn't come with a rule book." When is somebody gonna write a rule book about parenting? Maybe you are a mother to all sons. Write a book about parenting sons. If maybe you are a mother to or a father to, you had kids like, you have a really big age gap between your kids. Write a book about what it's like to start all over, or write what you have. Use what you have to get what you want. That's what I'm gonna say. Use focus on what you have. Highlight those things. If you are really good at basketball handling, there are camps for kids or teenagers or young adults that need to know like ball handling skills. Reach out, create a course. Courses are really big right now. Create a course or create a podcast. Those are really big right now. Number two, surround yourself with people that have an abundance mindset. Oftentimes, you ever realize it's like you want to start a business or you want to do something exciting, and then you tell your friends, and it's like, why you want to do that? Or what made you think about that? Or how you think you just gonna do that? Like, I know I'm doing all the like voices, but the reality of it is when people ask us those questions, they're not excited. They not ooh. They was like, why you think you can do that? Who are you to think you could do that? Surround yourself with people who be like, yes, you want to do that? Let's go over here and figure out how we do it. Or people that's going to lift you up to say, okay, you want to have a makeup class. I'll be your first person, to be the makeup thing or the makeup model. That's what it is. You want to try out a new look? I'll be your model. You need somebody to wear your clothes down the runway? I'll do that. You need somebody to promote your brand, broker belly? I'll do that. People that's looking for it, like people that want to be great. And I keep saying great because people that want to do better. People that, they'd be like, if you want to be rich, you got to hang around rich people. Get in the room. You want to hang around people that's doing what you want to do, or they already done it. They already been down that road, so they can show you, okay, this is what you need to have. This is what you need to have. When I be going to these business accelerators and getting all these canvas and all these different things that you need to know, I be writing all this down. I be sharing it with everybody. I'm going to start sharing it with you guys too, so you'll know, like, maybe you already know about starting an LLC, or maybe you already know about a business model Canva, or maybe you don't, but stay tuned because I'm definitely going to be talking about it because I think everybody should know. I be thinking like, man, I was watching this YouTube video and this guy was talking. He was like, if you are a parent and you're not encouraging your child to be on these in these digital spaces and encouraging them to figure out or showing them how to monetize these digital spaces, he was like, you're losing it. And then there's this one guy who was like, no, what you mean we showing our kids? And he was like really going at it. And the guy was like, if you are in a digital space, if you're a parent and you're in a digital space and you yourself haven't monetized, but you tell your child about monetizing, they're going to look at you and say, if it's that easy, or if that's something, if that's a way to make money, how come you're not doing it? And then the camera cut back to the man and he was silent. And he was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. He's like, parents are quick to tell their kids, this is or this is the way that you should do it, and these generation of kids, and they're going to ask you if it's that simple, if it's this easy, if this is what it is, how come you're not doing it? I thought, because I remember when I was growing up, it used to be do as I say, not as I do. That's what parents used to tell kids, and I just thought to myself like, yeah, one day that ain't gonna fly. One day that ain't gonna fly. And that's now. If you're a parent and you got kids, they be asking all kind of questions, the real deep questions, not just like algebra. Help me with my homework question. They be want to know, And sometimes parents don't have the answer. Instead of them saying, I don't have the answer, it becomes something else. Anyways, surround yourself with people that have an abundance mindset. These people can help you and show you the way. Number three, create situations where you win. A lot of times it might look like the situation we're going to lose, but you're still going to win because you're going to learn. I realized that about myself. I was like, I'm going to start doing YouTube and Twitch, and I'm going to start live streaming. I'm just going to keep talking. I wanted to talk because I want to one day do a TEDx talk. Like I want to say that's my goal for the next year. I'll say the next year to like, that's my goal for the next year is to do a TEDx talk. And in order to do that, I have to be comfortable with the sound of my voice. I have to be able to talk and have conversation and keep people engaged. So, I talk. And what I realize is when I talk about, talk for the nurturing conversations, a lot of people are engaged. A lot of people talk to me, they talk back to me. And so I just figured out continue on with the Nurturing Conversations podcast. So it was a win-win. Some days I have a lot of visitors, some days I don't. Some days I have people that talk, some days people never say a word, but I'm still here. It's a win-win situation for me. I'm learning. Allowing I'm able to use my voice, which seems to be going out right now. Um Number 4, incorporate gratitude, appreciation into your everyday life. Be grateful. Be grateful. Maybe yesterday wasn't a good day. You are alive and you are breathing and you have the activities of your limbs. You have space, time, and opportunity to make it right, to do better, to expand on what you already know. And number 5, recognize the possibilities, recognize opportunities, recognize it. You're smart, you are handsome, you are beautiful, you are intelligent. Recognize the opportunity for you to use all of that. Maybe your local community program wants to have a basketball program, but they don't really have a budget, or maybe they don't have somebody that could actually be over it. Connect with your local youth program. Maybe you want to start taking the CDL classes. Look at your local news, not local news. Look at your local community programs because a lot of them have CDL programs where they will actually pay for you to go get your CDLs, or pay for the physicals and stuff like that. I'm actually looking into that because I always wanted to be a truck driver. I don't know if I would really. I want to do it. Not just mainly for trucks, but I want to do it for like um Greyhounds, not really Greyhounds. Is it Greyhounds, coach buses, trips, take people on trips. That's what I really want to do. Like, especially young people. I want to take them on trips to different cities, get them out of their cities and take them to different cities. Like, take them to the sites, the Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls. That's where I want to go, Niagara Falls. So, I'm going to give you the 5 again. 1, focus on what you have. You got the smarts, you got the intelligence. Maybe you don't have the money, but you have the internet. You have YouTube, you have Google. There's a Chat GPT that can help you out too. 2, surround yourself with people that have an abundance mindset, people that have the forward thinking, people that are going to push you to be great. Number 3, create situations where you win. 4, incorporate gratitude, appreciation, meditation. Be grateful for the things you have. And number 5, train your mind to recognize opportunities. Train your mind to recognize opportunities. That's all I got. This has been a Nurturing Conversations podcast. I'm your host, I Shell, also known as Shell, also known as Midwest Hummingbird. I'm also known as a lot of things right now. Excuse me. It is important for you to use your words. That is the only way that anyone will ever know what you are feeling or what you are thinking. I will never let a live video, vlog, short, podcast, or anything that I present to you go out without me telling you to love yourself. This includes your faults, your fears, and your failures. Know yourself, trust yourself. And this right here is important. Trust yourself, whether it's the hairs on the back of your neck that send up the goosebumps, the feeling you get in the pit of your stomach, the loud or the small voice. Trust yourself because you will not lead yourself wrong. And most importantly, for the love of humanity, just be yourself. Why? Because you need you, I need you, this great big old world needs you to be authentically you. Um, we are all currently surviving a global pandemic, even though no one really talks about it as much lately. Um, so it is important that you set boundaries. Set boundaries. Sometimes you have to set boundaries with your family, your long term friends, your significant others, whoever. Set boundaries, stand 10 toes down on those boundaries, and live. If you haven't been paying attention to the news, you definitely should, and not just your local news. I want you to pay attention to the world news, especially this fires that are in Canada that are spreading to New York. Definitely look up, search that. Definitely look at the train derailments or the train that actually disappeared. But, anywho, definitely check out the local news. If you haven't already, got you some toiletries, non perishable food items, water, disinfectants, and some cash money to the side, as well as some coins. And if you are an adult engaged in adult activities, make sure that you wrap it up because the STD rates are rising. That's all I got. I hope that you enjoyed this nurturing conversation. Every Sunday at 7, I'm right here having a nurturing conversation. This is the Nurturing Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Shell. Until next time, I love you. Peace.